Welcome to Skegness Stadium for round 8 of the Screen Sport Formula 1 Stock Car SuperStars series. Skegness Stadium on the east coast, where it's quite a bright afternoon despite a bit of rain yesterday and a bit of wind this afternoon. A very big crowd here this afternoon to witness the Formula 1 stock cars chasing the Screen Sport points. We'll bring you up to date on the top 10 very soon, but in the meantime they're off and racing for the first heat of the afternoon, and away they go down the home straight. Tarmac track here at Skegness, very tight and tricky, and going to be a lot of action. In the commentary box with me, Martin Clark. Martin, put you on the spot. Who's going to scoop the points this afternoon?
Ian Smith, 367, the European champion, Dave, on a tight tarmac track. As you well know, he's virtually unbeatable, and with one or two of the lads missing this afternoon, Ian's got to be the favourite.
Well, we'll see how Ian gets on. There's a couple of yellow tops in trouble. One of them is Craig Howard, 52. But he's away and racing again, back onto the home straight, and he's got to chase after the pack. So the lead men come down the home straight. That's Pete Lancaster, who went out in that tangle with Craig Howarth. For the lead man, it looks as though it's the 266 car of Jeff Stagg in the lead position as they go down around the pits turn. That's the lead man, 266, Jeff Stagg, into the home straight in the lead. He makes his way around the town bend. That's 96 Glyn Daft, who's in second place and chasing him. Pete Lancaster in between the top two has been lapped by the leader now. That's the second place man going through. Running third there, Ian Higgins in 29. And the rest of the field coming through. We're looking for the leading red top, the leading star man coming through. And as yet, he's made no impression. And there he goes, and it's Dan Clark in 203, the leading star man. But he's down in 8th, 10th place, something like that in the early stages. Behind him there, Ken Hopes in 24, one of the yellow top drivers. Willie Harrison just gone through, picture in number 2, another star man. And there's Mr. B for 85, Ray Tilsley, the third of the star men coming through the field in this opening heat for the Formula Ones. And immediately behind him on track, the lead man on the charts, and that's Jeff Stagg in 266. And there he goes, the white roof car. 505, Kev Latham in the fence at the end of the home straight. There's the lead man going down the back straight, 266, Jeff Stagg. Behind him it's Ian Higgins in second place in 29. So the low graders running well in the early stages with Glyn Daft in third in 96. Higgins bidding for the lead now as they go down to the town bend. Martin Higgins is through into the lead.
Yeah, Ian's actually been up to star grade, Dave, about 2 years ago, I believe, wasn't it? You know, Ian will take some beating from yellow, but I'll still stick my money on Ian Smith, 367. You'll see him in about 4th and 5th place at the present moment.
So there's Ian Higgins in the lead going through, Jeff Stagg second, Glyn Daft third. And it looks as though it was Ian Smith who went through in 4th place. Murray Harrison, Roger Warnes go through, and then Dan Clark. Oh, and the bumper goes in there as Melton Leachell, 322, nudges Phil Haig, 454 aside around that bend.
I think you might find if Phil catches him, Dave, he'll have a little go back there, I think.
Yes, indeed. Phil Haig, well known for his bumper treatment. He has no respect for any body, whatever their grade. And there's Melton Leachell, 322. Phil Haig doing his best to get back with him and have a crack at that back bumper. Oh, that's the lead man, Ian Higgins in 29, just lapping Ken Hopes, the number 24 car down the back straight. So yellow top driver Ian Higgins and Ian Smith, Martin's bet for this one, moving through. He's in second now in 367. There they go around that turn. Mr. Beef having problems with back marker there. So it's Higgins the leader, 29. Ian Smith second now in 367. And there's the bumper going in. Ian Smith closes on Higgins around that bend. Round they go. So Higgins under pressure now from Ian Smith. Down the home straight again. The bumper going in hard.
The 91 car there, Dave. It's its first meeting this weekend. The new one from Wilf Warnes.
Well, Wilf Warnes in that new car already put a lap down by the leaders as they go through. Ray Tilsley a lap down on the leaders and causing them problems. Ian Smith is through now in 367. Higgins down to second. We're into the closing stages. The lap boards are out. They've got less than 3 laps to run. So Ian Smith in the lead then. Down the home straight he goes, the 367 car. Ian Higgins second in 29 there, just trying to lap Ray Tilsley, 85. Tilsley proving a stubborn driver to get past.
As Roger Warnes always goes well around Skegness. He's up into about 3rd or 4th place. Dave, he's a local lad or from Kings Lynn. He's the only East Coast driver, Formula 1 at the present moment, I believe.
Well, Higgins has managed to get past Tilsley. Tilsley's still a lap down, but he's interfering with the progress of the leading men. Ian Smith, the lead position, 367, clear of the field. Ian Higgins in second place in 29. Round the home straight, the checker flag is out. Ian Smith has won it, Ian Higgins is second. Roger Warnes finishes in third place. Ray Tilsley in amongst the leaders, but going to be a lap down on the charts when they check him off. Dan Clark came home in fourth by the look of it in 2:03.
It's nice to get one right, Dave, actually. My predictions are normally the kiss of death on them, but makes a change to get one right.
And before we get into Heat 2, let's have a look who's where in the Screen Sport Formula 1 Superstars series. Leading the way still is 53, John Lund, and he's got a 44-point advantage over Bobby Burns' car 471. Back in third place, 212, Frankie Wayman has 117 points. And Frankie jumped up 3 places as a result of his scoring at Mildenhall in the previous round. In fourth, it's Ray Tilsley, car number 85. That's Mr. Beef, of course. He has 106 points. And those 4 drivers over the ton are then followed by Nigel Wharton, car 422. Nigel has 96 points. Just 3 points behind him is Mike Close, car 199. And then back in 7th place on 86 points, it's Bert Finnegan, number 55. In 8th place, Rob Pierce, car 175. He's on 82 points. And then 33, Peter Faulding, the world champion. He's on 73 points. Completing the top 10, Dave Beresford, 260, has 57 points. And a total of 77 drivers have scored points so far in the Screen Sports series. The top 24 of them will go through to the final. And here we are about to go with Heat 2, with Bobby Burns having an ideal chance to go to the top of the points table this weekend. John Lund is away racing in Holland in the World Long Track Championship. Bobby Burns has 44 points to make up this afternoon. Martin, has he got much chance of making up those points?
Yeah, I think so, Dave. He's always gone well round Skegness, and after my very bravely picked Ian Smith out, I think we'll plump for Bobby, but with the drying track as well. But he's as quick as anybody on this short circuit, with probably the exception of John Lund, who's missing today. Yeah, we'll plump for Bobby.
Well, there is Bobby. Alongside him, Dave Mellor, another of the star men. It's been a 2-day meeting here at Skegness this weekend. We're here for the second day, and Dave Mellor was one of the race winners yesterday in the first day of the meeting, so he obviously in tune with the Skeggy tarmac at the moment. And there's 10th place man Dave Beresford in 260 as the green flag goes down, and we're away into the second heat of the afternoon for the Formula 1 stock cars. The whites and yellows move away. Down the home straight they go. The sort-out starts, and the star men trying to go through there. 3 of them leading off the back of the grid. 134, Wally Pittam already being passed by the star men as the leaders come through from that turn. Some of them going a little wide, losing the ground. That's John Wright, 128, already being passed by Bobby Burns in 471. Phil Bicknell the wrong way round on the home straight, car number 7.
Not unusual for Phil to be the wrong way round on the home straight, Dave, is it?
No, indeed, Phil Bicknell, it's a pleasure for him if he ever manages to finish a race. Well, those are the lead men coming through down the home straight, and the star men moving through at a fair rate of knots.
Bobby Burns is already up to about 5th place now, Dave. I really can't see anybody stopping him with what's in front of him.
Well, that's the lead man coming around into the home straight. 162, Richard Pratt second, 329, Stuart Young third, and Bobby Burns is 4th now in 471. Down the home straight, Dave Beresford just goes past Dave Mellor there. John Wright just in behind them. And the lead men down on that pits bend into the home straight they come. Now Bobby Burns now running 3rd in 471, motoring through well. Battle on for the lead just in front of him as Burns goes down the back straight. And Richard Pratt has taken over the lead now in 162. Peter Morton relegated to second in 132. And Burns goes through to second now. So there they are, Pratt the leader in 162, Burns second in 471. Mark Taylor through to 3rd in 490. And another star man there just behind him is Dave Beresford in 260.
Burns here has now taken the lead, actually, Dave, so it looks like we may have a 2 out of 2.
Yes, your prediction's coming right so far, Martin, with 1.5 races gone. Bobby Burns the leader, Richard Pratt second, Mark Taylor 3rd, and Dave Beresford 4th. Behind them, Dave Mellor in 304. Then it looks like John Wright and Dave Tapping, and that's the top half a dozen or so as they stream down to that bottom turn again, round the pits turn. There they go. Beresford, the second place red in this one, but the best place red is, of course, Bobby Burns, the leader. as we see Andy Clark 169 rolling across the middle. Looks as though he's out of the race. Richard Pratt there in second in 162, doing his best to stay with Bobby Burns, but Bobby looks as though he's in a mean mood this afternoon, and that's a pleasure for his fans. There he goes around that turn into the back straight. Well on his way to victory by the look of it. Not too many back markers to trouble him at the moment as he comes through from the pit bend again and onto the home straight.
It's a puncture's about the only thing I think that's going to stop him, Dave, at the present moment. He's so far clear, he can virtually relax for the rest of the race.
Yes, indeed. No problems at all for Bobby Burns, barring the odd unforeseen incident with a back marker or a flat tyre, as Martin said. Down the home straight again. Oh, and Richard Pratt's gone to the fence, and he was running second in 162, so he's gone out. So that'll move the others up. Burns has just gone past him, and Pratt has rejoined in the position he was in, but of course he's lost a lap in the meantime. And it's Mark Taylor who's gone second in 490. Dave Beresford third. There's Dave Mellor in fourth place as they go through, and Richard Pratt in amongst the leaders now, but a lap down on them. That's the battle for second place. Mark Taylor and Dave Beresford, 490 and 260. And there's the leader, almost half a lap clear of them now. Mark Taylor in 490 goes through second. Dave Beresford third in 260.
Still can't get used to these Beresford cars with aerofoils on, Dave. He ran for many years, one of the last to go to the aerofoils, and they still never really seem to look right on Dave's, although the car it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, Dave Beresford always noted for his immaculate turnout. The lap boards are out, we're in the closing stages. So Bobby Burns, 471, has less than 2 laps to run now. That's Mr. Starter Steve Markham on the rostrum. We have 2 starters on duty this afternoon. We'll see the other one, Mr. Brian Beat, later on. We're looking for Bobby Burns. There he goes in 471 on the home straight, and now out onto his last lap, and heading to make it 2 out of 2 for Martin Clark's predictions as he goes down the back straight for the last time, down towards the turn bend. No back marker problems, nothing to worry about as he comes off that turn and down the home straight, and he's made a big inroad into those 44 points. There he goes over the line. Bobby Burns the winner in 471. And the second and third place drivers cross the line as well. So, well, Martin, 2 out of 2 on your predictions.
Yeah, I think I'll retire now, Dave. It's, you know, while you're out in front.
So, confirmation of the top 3. Bobby Burns the winner in 471. Second place to Mark Taylor in 490. And in third, another Starman, 260, Dave Beresford. So we move on to the rolling lap then, as the Starmen at the back of the grid begin to slip the clutches. Up front, the white tops are about to move away into the race. So there they go, the green flag is waved, they're away into the action. This time we have Mr. Brian Beat on the starters rostrum as they move away. And there are the Starmen, and Len Wolfenden tucking in behind the blue tops there, trying to find a gap through on the inside. And he passes 2, almost 3 in one go there, down on that turn. Oh, and the leader in trouble on the home straight. Looks like Tony Smith, 195. He's gone grass hunting across the middle.
Mind you, Lenny in his heyday, Lenny's well known for his grass hunting, isn't he, Dave?
He is indeed. In fact, Len Wolfenden's got this theory that he likes to race on wet tracks. And when the track is dry, he goes onto the infield several times to drag the wet stuff out onto the track.
Some promoters have even thought of a lawnmower on the front, Dave, I believe.
Well, we'll see how Lenny goes without lawnmower. There's Bert Finnegan leading Lenny through the field, though. And behind them, Peter Hall in 511. Up front, the leaders coming around the turn. And the Starmen aren't too far behind the leaders. The leading Starman certainly into the top half dozen now. And quite a few cars already behind them, as you can see, coming down that straight. And the lead men coming through from the pits turn. And it looks like Chris Wilkinson, 121, who has the lead, with Bert Finnegan through to second now in 55. And Lenny Wolfenden not making much progress. Peter Hall has now gone past him in 511. Oh, and trouble there for Paul Coleman, 489. Spins around in a cloud of smoke from the tyres. And that's Peter Hall, 511, who's been sent towards him, possibly by Lenny Wolfenden. So those more drivers chasing the leaders come down the home straight. And we're looking for the lead man coming through. And it looks as though it's Bert Finnegan who's gone to the front now in 55. And there he is, Bert Finnegan in the lead. Chris Wilkinson in second in 121. Behind them it looks like Rob Cowley third in 73. So Bert Finnegan the leader, 55, and it looks as though Len Wolfenden is going to have to settle for one of the places in this one.
Yeah, Bert's well away now, Dave, and I think other than mechanical problems, it looks like my 3 out of 3's out the window as well.
Well, Lenny's in fourth place at the moment. Couple of low graders between himself and the race leader, Bert Finnegan. There's Wilkinson going through in second place in 121. Finnegan the leader, and that work that his crew put in into the early hours of this morning paying off, because Bert Finnegan is heading for victory in Heat 3 this afternoon. The lights flashing on the car, they indicate that he is a superstar. In fact, there's Wilkinson second in 121, Wolfenden third, and Rob Cowley fourth. And those are the top 4 men going through. So we're into the second half of this heat, and Len Wolfenden has moved through into second now. Well, there's 55 in the lead, and it's a quarter of a lap, the gap between first and second. Finnegan just gone out of shot, and there's Wolfenden in second. Behind him, Chris Wilkinson third. He's the yellow roof driver with Rob Cowley fourth in 73.
Mind you, Dave, Bert's no stranger to winning at Skegness. His biggest ever victory in the European Championship was at Skegness last year.
Indeed so. Bert Finnegan very much at home on the Skegness tarmac. And I think I'm right in saying he was the first Formula 1 driver ever to win the heat final Grand National Maximum here at Skegness way back in its early years. So through the closing stages we go now with Bert Finnegan the clear leader in 55. He's on his way down the back straight. Wolfenden just goes through second, looking back for third. And it's Rob Cowley who's third. Chris Wilkinson just behind, and then Des Chandler. And that's the 3 laps to run board. So we're well into the closing stages now, just over 2 to run for the race leader. So Bert Finnegan emerges from the pits bend. There he goes down the home straight. So he's rounding the town bend into the back straight. Some back markers in front of him, but they shouldn't trouble him a great deal because he's got quite a lead to play with. And I would imagine he'd be quite content to sit behind those back markers for the last lap, which he's just about to go out onto.
Whatever the troubles were, Dave, last night, they weren't drastic, because Bert is absolutely flown round here today. He's absolutely decimated the rest of the field.
Yes, half a lap clear of the field. Bert Finnegan in car number 55, heading for victory in the third heat of the afternoon. That'll give him plenty of Screen Sport points. Over the line he goes. The checkered flag is out. Len Wolfenden finishes in second place in 190. So, confirmation of the top 3. Bert Finnegan, the winner in number 55. Second place went to Len Wolfenden in 190. And in third, it was number 73, Rob Cowley. So the next event is the Formula 1 stock car Consolation. It's the last chance to qualify for this afternoon's final. And to do that, they've got to finish in the first 8 places. We've already seen the 3 heats. This is the race for all the non-qualifiers from those 3 heats. And, of course, the big points are available in the final, which is what they're trying to qualify for. A slight hold-up on the rolling lap. The lead cars have been stopped on the back straight, but they're off and rolling once again. And as usual in these consolation events, a lot of the low graders who didn't make it through the heats. And as usual, the mayhem is just that little bit more. So those are the white tops leading the rolling lap down the back straight. They're beginning to just build up the speed a little bit. And the green light is on. They're away and racing. The green flag is waved. And there they go. A lot of white tops moving down the home straight. And 1 or 2 of them not finding a straight line. There's a couple of yellows in the fence down at the other end of the home straight. And there they are at Stu Smith 139, one of those yellows in the fence. 329 Stu Young also in the fence there.
That's a new paint job as well, that is, Dave, on the 139 car.
Well, that's obviously scratched the new paint job on the Stu Smith car. 1 or 2 of them bouncing over the curb as they come through from the pits turn, trying to find a gap past those parked cars in the fence. And already 1 or 2 have gone out to the bottom end of the stadium as well.
Ray Tilsley's moving through very well, Dave. I suppose he's the only Star Grade driver in the race. He's got to be in with a chance.
Well, there we can see the tangle that Stu Young and Stu Smith are involved in, and it'd be very surprising if either of them get back into this race.
Stu Young is right through the fence there, his front wheels, Dave. It's going to be a problem pulling him out.
So the lead cars go around the town bend. Oh, and there's a tangle over there. Phil Bicknell involved in car number 7. And that's 101, Bonzo Palmer facing the wrong way. We've got Andy Clark, 169, in a tangle with him as well. One of the whites pulling off onto the infield. Another one there is Dave Knight's just rolling across the middle in 166. He's just about to rejoin on the back straight. So it's quite hectic, as we predicted in the early stages of this Consolation, until things settle down and some of the traffic clears. Dave Knight's there trying to rejoin the track as club at a barrel and finds no way onto the track on that bend.
That just took Murray Harrison out as well. He was well up there, Murray, but looks like his chance has gone a bit there, Dave.
So the cars chase down the home straight, those who haven't hit trouble in the early stages. Ray Tilsley, the Lone Star man in this 85, moving his way through the field. Oh, there is Mr. Beef, 85. He goes through down the home straight. And as you can see, that's Stu Young car well and truly through the fence. And it looks as though it's 430 Mick Crocker who has the lead position. There he goes down the back straight. B-grade driver with the yellow roof. Into the home straight he goes.
Be nice to see Mick do well. He's one of the real budget races, Dave, isn't he?
He is indeed. Races on a shoestring. Doesn't have a lot of money to spend on big engines, etc. And there he's being chased by Ray Tilsley, one of the men who's expected to do well in this one. Crocker the leader, 430. Let's have a look at the placeman behind him. Keith Riley, 323. Ray Tilsley, 85. Then Wayne Handley, 378. And it looks as though that's the top 4. So Tilsley in the top 3 now and moving through. Race leader Mick Crocker in 430. There he is, just in behind those 4 back markers, going down the home straight now. And there's Tilsley closing in and trying for the inside line, and it looks as though that will put Ray Tilsley into the lead. He goes from 3rd to 1st in one move. Keith Riley right behind him there in 323, trying to push Tilsley out. And Tilsley's tangled up with Alan Long, and Keith Riley shoots across the infield. Has Riley gained the lead?
He's lost it as well there.
Well, it looks as though Riley may have taken the lead, because although he went on the infield and lost impetus, he's managed to get going again. And Ray Tilsley, well, he lost an awful lot of time. He might even still be parked up down there. So that looks as though it's the new leader, Keith Riley in 323, coming through from the pits turn. So there's Riley in the lead in 323. Round the town bend he goes, through onto the back straight. Down the back straight they go. So Keith Riley, 323, in the lead position. And we're looking back at the chasing men. Tilsley's motoring again and smoking the tyres.
He's up to 4th, Dave, after his little spin out on the bottom bend.
Well, Ray desperate for points this afternoon, as some of the top men are away, but he'll count that as lost points.
Keith Riley's tangled there. You've got Jeff Nichols right on with a lap 2 to go. It's going to be a good finish here, Dave. You've got Tilsley there as well.
And the flying Martin round that turn.
Keith Riley's just gone back to 4th from leading into the bend.
So what a tremendous finish we've got with these 3 coming down the home straight. Jeff Nichols the leader, Peter Morton 2nd, Ray Tilsley 3rd. Through they go, and it looks as though we're on the last lap now. Peter Morton has the lead, but Tilsley's close behind him. Keith Riley's still in touch, and Tilsley trying for the lead. And down the back straight they go, and it looks as though Tilsley's through. They come through, and the checkered flag's going out, and it's Jeff Nichols who holds on to take the checkered flag. In fact, Tilsley has to settle for 2nd place. And I think it was Keith Riley in behind him there to finish 3rd. Well, Martin, tremendous finish to that one.
Yeah, it's what it's all about, isn't it, stock car racing? It was anybody's race right the way through. There must have been virtually a leader new leader every 2 or 3 laps, Dave. What more can you ask for?
Well, it's happened. The rain has come down. It's been threatening all day, and as you can see, the umbrellas are up, and conditions out there on the track are going to be that much more tricky from now on. And as a bonus event this afternoon, we feature the Formula 2 Grand Final of the afternoon. The Formula 2 stock cars have been here racing on this speed weekend, staging their World Championship final, in fact, which was won by Dave Luscombe, car 642. We'll see him on track in this one. It is the Grand Final, and there's the green light and the green flag. They're away and racing. 32 of the Formula 2 stock cars on track. 106 of them have raced here this weekend. These are the top 32 in this race that we're featuring as an extra. And there they are, moving away into the race. And it's going to be very tricky for them as the rain comes steadily down. The early leaders down around the pits turn, and it's Ed Pannett who's made the break in number 36. There he goes, down the home straight at the end of the first lap. Behind him, Mark Hadley in car number 25. There's Mike Price going through in 8.53. So Pannett the leader, 36. And as you can see, handling very difficult. The track very greasy from the long hot spell they've had here on the east coast, and the rain, of course, just topping it off very nicely. Well, here comes some of the star men down the home straight. That's Gordon McDougall from Scotland, 41, doing a bit of pushing and shoving. And somewhere amongst those star men, the new world champion Dave Luscombe. We congratulate him on his victory, and we'll see how he gets on in this field of 32 cars. His first grand final since becoming world champion. So the star men go down the home straight. A lot of them out there on track, and behind them, here comes the leader. 36, Ed Pannett, the leader. Down to the town bend he goes, around that bend and into the back straight. Pannett leading the way. 3.44, Phil Woodhall in second place. White top driver from Leicestershire. Down the back straight they go again. So around that bend and into the home straight again. Pannett the leader, 36. Then Woodhall in the 3.44 car. Former mini stocks driver, now moved up into Formula 2s. John Thompson goes through in 7.01. Gordon McDougall looks as though he's the leading red top at the moment in 41. But Pannett has the lead. Quite the fashion these days to have those large aerofoils on the side of the car. Didn't do Mike Price much good around that turn. He's juggling with the steering wheel, trying to find a straight line down the home straight in the 8.53 car. And already Ed Pannett, the leader, picking off some of the star men, putting them a lap down on the charts. And there is Pannett, the leader. 36 goes through from the northeast of England, Stockton-on-Tees area, leading the way. That star man behind him is in fact a lap down on the charts, and Pannett's got quite a lead now in 36. Just see him picking off some more of the back markers, and that star man who has been lapped is trying to just shove Pannett out of the way. Down the home straight they go, and it's 6.17. Mike James from Cornwall, that star man. He obviously doesn't take kindly to being lapped, but Pannett pulling away from him now. And there they are around the town bend, back to the home straight. Pannett in the lead, 36. Last time we looked back to second, it was Phil Woodhall running second in 3.44, white top driver. And looking back down track now, it looks as though some of the blues are coming through. I saw John Thompson there. And that's car number 9, John Robinson, one of the drivers from Northern Ireland who came over for the World Championship weekend. He's just been lapped by Ed Pannett in 36. Graham Bunter there in car number 28. He looks as though he's moving through into second place. But there's a piece of metal dragging on that tyre, no doubt. That's why it's smoking so badly. So Bunter's race probably won't last very long. And there you can see that he's pulled up on the pits turn. Pannett the leader, 36. Round that bend he goes. And it's the blue tops who are behind him at the moment. John Thompson still running nicely in 7.01. So Pannett the leader, and it looks as though in fact Thompson is second in 7.01. There he goes around that turn. Oh, and there's a tangle down there. 5.74 has gone out. That's Alistair Hunter, 28 Graham Bunter, and 5.14 Chalky White. And Pannett the leader in trouble as well. and he's gone out up on that top bend. He's racing again, but he's lost a bit of ground. Now, what difference has that made to the positions? We'll check him around that turn into the back straight. It looks as though, in fact, Panic has held on to his lead. It was John Thompson in second place before that in 7:01. Owen Panic clobbers that back marker there, and that's Stephen Tooley, 6:64. He's lost a wheel. And we've got bits of the brake drum lying on the track, and there's the wheel further on down the home straight. And I won't be surprised if they put the wave gellers out to get that wheel off the track. Starmen going through, Martin Lamb there, Malcolm Locke, Doug Forbes. So there's Ed Panic still in the lead in 36, despite that problem on the pits bend. And Panic on the way down the back straight. What a weekend he's had. It might be the first Formula 2 race that we're watching this weekend, but it will be the 5th race that Ed Panic has won if he can win this one. Had a tremendous night last night in the first part of the speed weekend. So he's obviously in top form, and there he is leading the way very nicely, despite being a B-grade driver with a yellow roof. Past that tangle of cars, down on the pits bend, back into the home straight. Another lap completed for Ed Panic. And it looks as though the Starmen are beginning to come through behind him. So he'll be coming under pressure in the closing stages of the race, because the minor place drivers are now all Starmen, and they'll be chasing through. Oh, there's Panic going through. And we'll look to see who's coming down the home straight behind him. And Pete Hobson was one of them, the Starmen. That's Malcolm Locke, 698. Behind him, 52, Martin Lamb. So Panic's lead is still quite a big one, and we're moving through the closing stages. So Ed Panic is on his last lap, and those Starmen are not going to get to him. And Ed Panic is going to record his 5th victory of the weekend, and this is the biggest apart from the World Final. This is the Formula 2 Grand Final. And there's the checker flag, and Ed Panic wins it in 36. And in second place, it was 52, Martin Lamb, with third place going to the 777 car of Doug Forbes. And the green flag goes down as we move into the final of the afternoon for the Formula 1 stock cars. 32 of them out there on track, and they're racing over 20 laps. So we've seen Martin get some of his predictions right this afternoon. Martin, who's going to win this one through all this traffic?
Well, it's a little bit of a lottery, Dave, on a wet and greasy track now with 32 cars, but I'll stick with Ian Smith.
Well, there you go. Ian Smith does have the advantage, of course, of starting from amongst the blue tops. There are several top star men out there. And Bobby Burns now just 28 points behind leader John Lund with that win earlier this afternoon. So a win here and a few points in the Grand National will put Bobby Burns in the lead. And there is Burns moving through. He got through quite a lot of traffic that time down the home straight. Bert Finnegan and Mr. Beef, Ray Torsley, some way behind him. As we can see there around that turn, that looked like Mark Taylor in trouble, limping round by the fence in the 490 car.
Dave, you mentioned him, Bobby there. He is the only driver this year, actually, to get the heat final and national at Hartlepool, and that was on a wet track, so who knows?
Yes, and with the rain coming down now, we must fancy Bobby Burns' chances. But, of course, Len Wolfenden is also a wet track specialist, and he's out there somewhere with them. And we'll see how he gets on through the field. Well, we're looking at some of the cars trying to hold on to their places. The low-graders who started off towards the front and are now being swallowed up by the Starmen. Now, there's Beresford and Tilsley going through on the inside. Rob Cowley and Melt Leachell on the outside. Ian Higgins we saw well to the fore earlier on this afternoon. And Ian Higgins well to the fore at the moment. He appears to be the race leader in car number 29. Behind him, Jeff Stagg there in 266 and John Wright in 128. They must be the second and third. Richard Pratt moves through nicely. Wayne Handley's just clobbered the fence in 378. And he's just rejoining down the home straight. So that's the traffic going through. Ian Higgins in 29 is the leader. It looks as though it could be Richard Pratt second in 162. And Dave Mallow going remarkably well in 304. Dave's had a terrible season, has done very little winning at all, but had a good night last night and hasn't had a bad afternoon up to now. So there's Ian Higgins, 29, picking off back marker Des Chandler in 213. So down the home straight they come, whole stream of cars moving down to that turn. And there's Dave Mallow going around that turn in 304. Bobby Burns just in front of him in 471. And some more of the back markers there down the back straight. And that's the shot of them coming down the home straight at Skegness Stadium. Now we're looking for the lead man coming through, and it looks as though it could be Ian Smith in 367 who's hit the front. Well, we're checking that one through. Ian Smith certainly moving well, but could be that he lost a lap earlier on. And down the home straight they go, and it looks as though, in fact, it's still Ian Higgins in the lead in 29. So Ian Smith has lost a lap earlier on. He went past Ian Higgins, but that was just unlapping himself. Ian Higgins in 29, the leader then, as they come through from that pits turn.
My kiss of death again, I think, Dave, there.
Yes, indeed so, Martin. So Ian Smith, we can count out of the running, and there's Len Wolfenden, his front bumper working hard there as Richard Pratt goes out wide to the fence, manages to avoid the fence. And there's Ian Higgins leading some of those drivers around the turn. Ian Smith working hard, Phil Wilton on the middle in 411. And that's the second time this weekend that Phil Wilton, that particular driver, has demolished the presentation rostrum on the middle. He must have something in for the drivers who collect trophies.
Yeah, Phil's famous for it because he's done it to other stadiums as well, Dave, hasn't he?
So, well, Phil knows his penchant in racing now. And there's a tangle of blue tops down the home straight. Keith Riley, Dave Tapping and Rob Cowley. And Ian Higgins through there in 29. Down the back straight he goes. And there's Burns and Wolfenden moving through, two real hard chargers. There's Chandler in 213. Well, he's amongst the map markers. He's a lap down. And there's Ian Higgins, car number 29.
Dave, if he did win it, it's been a long time since he has won a final, or come to think of it, has he?
Well, certainly it's a long time since I can remember Ian Higgins winning a final. But it looks as though he's under pressure from Len Wolfenden. Now, the question is Wolfenden a lap down? Well, there's all sorts of chaos going on out there on the track. Wolfenden has certainly gone past Higgins. So it could be that 190 Len Wolfenden has taken the lead. They're coming down the home straight. So around that turn they go in a tangle of cars. Wolfenden and Higgins having a battle. Whether Wolfenden's on the same lap or not, he's certainly having a tremendous tussle, and Des Chandler's getting involved as well.
There's Richard Pratt. I think Richard Pratt might have taken the lead there.
Oh my goodness, they're tangling and going there. That was Paul Barnicoat getting airborne in 224, and there he is in the fence. Straight across the traffic he went and into the fence. And there's Wolfenden doing his best to remove Ian Higgins. In fact, he was trying to push Ian Higgins straight back into the pits on that turn.
And Willie Harrison went through on the inside now. Nobody's noticed Willie. He's slowly made his way through the field.
So there's all sorts of pushing and shoving going on. 32 cars on the Skegness tarmac is an awful lot of traffic for the Formula Ones. And there's Len Wolfenden, 190. Behind him, Ian Higgins in 29. Down the home straight they go. We're in the closing stages. The lap boards are out. And Ian Higgins has gone out wide. John Wright moves through in 128. So they're about to start their last lap, in fact, as they go down the home straight. There it is, the last lap board is out. And it looks as though, in fact, it's Bobby Burns who's taken the lead. Bobby Burns, the leader. Len Wolfenden we can see back there, but Len's well down the places. He is, in fact, a lap down, so it's Bobby Burns who takes the checkered flag. Peter Hall has finished second in 511, and third place to number 2, Willie Harrison. So tremendous chaos around the circuit there. Even we lost the leader in the closing stages, but it was a great race win for Bobby Burns. So another additional race of the programme this afternoon. It's the Formula 2 Grand National Heat, and Ed Panett, who's really cleaned up here this weekend, is starting with a one-lap handicap, so we'll see how he gets on in this Grand National Heat. And there he goes, leading them off with that one-lap handicap. And already he's getting in amongst the back markers. Well, as you can see, it's a very full field for this Grand National Heat. So Ed Panett comes down the home straight, and behind him it will be the leaders as Ed Panett tries to pick off that one-lap handicap. And there they go around that turn, and there's trouble for Bob Bowker, 798, blown back tyre. So he rolls to a halt by the fence. And the leaders coming through down the home straight, and that looks like Peter Fenton in the lead in 2.55. We'll check that out in a moment as they go through around that turn. The red top's coming through. There's Gordon McDougall, we saw going well earlier on in 41. Doug Forbes in the 777 car. And the number 50 car spun out down there on that turn. And some of the chasing men coming through. Oh, and there's a tangle there, and that's Jeff Bunn in 930, who's onto the infield. So they're beginning to spread out, and the lead man goes around that turn. That's the second place man chasing him through. That looks like it could be Graham Bunter in second. Ed Panic, we can see 36 chasing that one lap handicap. So that's the lead man. Around that turn he goes. It looks as though it's Peter Fenton in 2.55 with Graham Bunter in behind in 28. Oh, and a couple of back markers tangled down there. Problems for the leaders. Bunter's gone out wide. And so is Fenton, and there's a tangle out onto the middle there. That's Brian Foster, one of those two in the tangle. And the star men are starting to come through. So the lead man is through again. And there's the rest of the field chasing down the home straight. High-speed action from the Formula 2 stock cars. And that number 50 car keeps going around and out of the race on that bend. The lead men coming through, Jimmy Wallace from Scotland in trouble there in 16, along with Doug Forbes in 777. And Ed Panic is up with some of those back markers now in 36. And that's the new leader, in fact, and it's Dave Luscombe, 642, who's the leader, coming through on the home straight, and he's the man who won the World Championship last night. It's the last time we shall see him with a red roof for at least 12 months, because next time he comes out, he'll have a gold roof on that car. Dave Luscombe from Devon. And there's a tangle down there on the bend. Keith Maiden involved in 276. He's one of the cars gone out. There's Luscombe, the leader. And what a tremendous end to the weekend it will make for him to win this Grand National Heat. Oh, he's in a spot of bother there with one of the big raiders, Yellow Roof Driver. But it's Luscombe, the leader. Coming through in second place, 41, Gordon McDougall. Chasing through in third there, it was the 131 car. And that's first and second. That's Luscombe, the leader, 642. So another lap completed for him, and there's the second place man, Gordon McDougall in 41. Chasing hard after Luscombe. As far as I can recall, the Scottish drivers haven't had a victory this weekend, so McDougall will be very happy to get one. Nice bit of driving there by Luscombe, shoving a back marker out of his way. He's got no time to hang about. He knows that McDougall is close behind him in 41. And car number 50 in trouble yet again. 760, John Lovett out with him there, and 52, Martin Lamb. And there's the leader going past them at a fair rate of knots, Dave Luscombe. McDougall still second in 41, and there's a long gap back to anything else. So it's still Luscombe in the lead then. Ed Panic is managing to make up some of the ground from that one lap handicap, having a tremendous drive. And there's Dave Luscombe just lapping another car who spins and bounces the fence right in front of Luscombe, and Luscombe was lucky to get away with that one. The 806 car of Phil Jeffrey smoking badly, and he's gone. And it was Brian Foster in the 875 car who clobbered the fence on the back straight, and he's still running there. Back into the race he goes. And Luscombe having back marker problems, quite a few of them around that turn. Through on the home straight again. The lap boards are out. We're in the closing stages. Luscombe the leader, McDougall second in 41. They're on the last lap, in fact. Back in third place, a long way back. It looks like the Peter Fenton car. So it's 6:42. Dave Luscombe over the line he goes and takes the checkered flag. 41, Gordon McDougall finishes in second place. And across the line third, it looked like Peter Fenton in 2:55. So Dave Luscombe doing well on his World Championship victory weekend there by winning the Grand National Heat at the end of the weekend for the Formula 2 stock cars. Tremendous action and tremendous drive by him. So congratulations to Dave Luscombe, new Formula 2 stock car champion of the world and winner of the Grand National Heat here this afternoon at Skegness. And there's the man who got away from us in the final, Bobby Burns, 471. He won the final. He starts this Grand National Heat with a one-lap handicap. And I did say before the final that if he could win that one and get a place in the Grand National, he would then overhaul John Lund at the top. And Bobby Burns wants just 5 points to take in the Screen Sports Superstar Series from this race. He's on double points, of course, so all he's got to do is finish in the top 10 to move above John Lund in the Screen Sports Superstars. It's a tall order to finish in the places from a one-lap handicap, but for Bobby Burns, nothing is too much, and we'll see how he gets on. Just a slight problem there with one of the cars down on the pit stern. In fact, one of the marshals holding a red flag up.